Check the description for the following discount codes. This is kind of like a news video really. We had some questions in the comments on the GT Amiga Prime Lite review the other day, and one of the most common questions was, Carl, does the accessories, the add-ons that fit the full-size Prime also fit the Lite? And I did speculate about this in the review. I hadn't measured anything up, I hadn't checked. Anyway, GT Amiga got in contact with me and said, we've had loads of people asking this, Carl, might be worth doing an update video answering the question, which I was going to do anyway once I'd had to measure up myself, but I didn't have any need to, because they got in contact and they said, yes, Carl, all the GT Amiga Prime accessories for the full-size cockpit fit the Lite as well. So if we have a quick look at their website now, that would include the single monitor mount accessory, the quad upgrade kit, where's the triple one? You don't add the quad one until you've got the triple one. Oh, triple one's down here to the right, weirdly spaced on the website. But yeah, so the single one fits, the triple one is really just a single one with a couple of extra mounts on the side, and then you can add a top mount for a fourth monitor as well. So they all fit. The floor standing one's irrelevant because it's just a floor standing one. The pedal plate upgrade was a real common question, because that's one of the only things that is what I would call more mid-tier on the Prime Lite than anything else. And the answer is yes, that bolts straight on as well, which I thought it would do because I thought the spacing seemed pretty standard. So that fits. Then you've got your different wheelbase brackets and front mounts, like the one you see here. And if we scroll down further, there's one here for the sort of semi-cube, and then the front mount one here as well. Caster wheels. Actually, a few people asked about caster wheels. These ones look really nice. I haven't actually tried these. I bought some off of Amazon when I was using some casters on one of my cockpits. But these actually look quite beefy. Might be worth a goosey if somebody wants some. And of course, there's discounts off all of this using my link in the description below. This floor plate is actually quite nice. I run that on mine because, especially as mine's got a motion system, it's off the floor quite high, and when you step in, you really step in. So if yours is perhaps on casters and raised up, I mean, this applies to the full-size Prime really more so than the Prime Lite because that isn't quite as deep. Or if you're on a motion system and you don't want to step in quite so far, this little plate just sort of tidies things up a bit. The keyboard tray is out of stock, but it's a bit pony anyway, so I wouldn't really care about that. There's probably better alternatives on the market. When I reviewed that, it was quite flimsy, and using, I think, a generic TV wall mount bracket. So it functions, but it's not the best. There might be better options. Mouse plate. This is just literally a rectangular piece of steel, I believe. Might be Ali actually, with a couple of bolts that go into the channel using your T-nuts. When I reviewed this, one of the things I said was that the bolts should be countersunk and not protrude like they do there, because it stops your mouse mat sitting comfortably on it. And according to the pictures here, that's still the same. So yeah, you know, if you, it's one of those things, if you need one, you need one, I suppose. Then we've got speaker mounts. We've got an extra side bracket, so if you want to have maybe a handbrake on one side, shifter on the other, something like that, or a sequential shifter on one side, an H-pattern shifter on the other, whatever you fancy, they're available, and again, they'll bolt straight on. So yes, the answer to that question is everything does fit. So should you need any of these accessories, go ahead, grab what you want. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, I got an email from SimLabs today saying they're doing up to 50% off sale. Now this is on accessories again, rather than their full-size cockpits like their P1X. They do have a wheel stand. Their wheel stand Pro they have here has got 30% off. So it goes down from 159 to 111. This is in euros. So that's not a bad deal if you're after a wheel stand. But this is the aluminium profile one. And I reviewed that, and it's a ball ache to put together, is the long and short of that. Aluminium profile isn't the best choice of materials for a wheel stand. Getting things symmetrical and to line up properly is not easy. But should you need other accessories, now because again, these are all aluminium profile bolt-on stuff, so these will all fit the GT Amiga Prime and Prime Lite as far as I know, because it's exactly the same dimensions, width-wise. Aluminium profile is aluminium profile. The channels are all the same size at this sort of size of profile that we're talking about, 80/40 and 80/160, or 160/40, sorry. So If you wanted to buy a mount, if you preferred these mounts for whatever reason, then you could get them from here, because we've got 30% off, 30% off, 50% off this speaker mount, so it's a tenner. 30% off this, well, it's just a random extra mounting point. Not that I'd recommend putting a shifter like the Fanatic shifter just on a piece of profile like that. That would definitely flex. Single screen mount here, 50% off. Things like this. Let's just click on this and get a bigger picture. This was 30 euros for just a piece of plate with like a couple of smiley faces machined into it for mounting your Fanatic shifter. Stuff like that always annoys me that it's so expensive. So at 15 euros, that's a much better deal if you need that solution to mount your Fanatic shifter. And again, so it just bolts onto aluminium profile. So if you don't have a SimLab cockpit, it doesn't matter as long as it is aluminium profile. Inverted pedal tray here, down from 300 to 209. I can't believe it was 300 in the first place. That's a ridiculous price. Wow. For just some bits of profile and a couple of custom brackets. That is a hefty price tag. 209 euros is still strong money, but you know, everyone's out to make a profit, I suppose. But yeah, there's 30% off of that. A sim shelf, I don't know what that's for, maybe literally just a shelf putting things on. 50% off. Fanatic DD podium brackets for side mounting, down from 90 to 62, 30%. Again, just makes all these things a little bit more affordable should you need them. And their LED display here down from 299 to 209, which makes that a lot more affordable as well, because there's a lot of LED displays available in the market. But if you want SimLabs to match the SimLabs cockpit, maybe you want to get that one. But yeah, that's the sort of up to 50%, and they genuinely do have stuff here with 50% off. And the rest of it all seems to be 30, which is still a reasonable amount off. Yeah, it is. Everything, it's either 30 or 50, so everything's got a decent discount on. But not any of their full-size cockpits or anything else. There's a link again for SimLabs in the description if you do want to grab any of this, either for your SimLabs cockpit or for your SimHound cockpit or for your GT Amiga cockpit. If it's Ali profile, they should all fit without any problems. Now, the final thing we're going to look at today, I put a video up the other week asking if you'd like me to review a tactile kit from slipangle.com, and the overwhelming response in the comments was yes, Carl, definitely. The benefits of this, you always get the negative people. Oh, you could DIY this for less. Yes, of course you could DIY it for less. But these packages are not aimed at the people that can DIY things, are they? If you can DIY it, like I did, you buy your own tactiles, your own amplifier, you do all the wiring, the soldering, find a sound, you do it yourself. This is for people that want to buy a kit that's already made, wires ready just to plug in, appropriate size and powered amplifier to run it, all already chosen for you, and you just connect it all up and bolt it on. It's the whole point of it being in a kit form. Regardless of whether it's made up of off-the-shelf components or not. And what else made this interesting was that it comes with these sort of isolator springs. Someone did say in the comments what these are used for. It might have been industrial air conditioning units or something like that. Again, it doesn't really matter what they were used for. The whole point of them here is they isolate the vibration from the floor. So the idea is you're not shaking your room so much as you're shaking your rig, of course. So this is now coming in for review. I spoke to the manufacturer, I spoke to SlipAngle, who have put this kit together, and said, take a look at my video. There's literally a couple of hundred people all in the comments saying, yes, please review it, yes, please review it. So they've said, no problem, Carl, we'll get one over to you. They initially said to me the shipping to the UK is quite pricey, almost prohibitively pricey. So the guy there took some time, the next couple of weeks, to find a more economical way to ship things over to us here in the UK, and they've now done that. He hasn't told me what the cost of shipping is yet, but I'll find out prior to doing the review and once the kit arrives. So thanks for your feedback about that, because I was interested to see how it works. It is on its way over, and it will be being reviewed on my GT Amiga Prime Lite, because that's now going to be my test bed for pretty much everything that I review, as it's such a solid cockpit, and it's still small and light enough for me to wheel out of this room into the spare room where I keep things sort of in storage, so as to not take up all the space in here. But that is today's video. Prime accessories, full-size Prime accessories do fit the Prime Lite. Let's stop my screen capture, filling up my hard drive with nothing. SimLabs 50% off of all their accessory range right now, or 30% off their accessory range, including the Wheel Stand Pro, should you want a ball achy wheel stand to put together. And those accessories will also fit anything that's aluminium profile, and the slip angle shaker kit will be coming in for review. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.